I really like that. I don't know about that. On a chatterbait or spin, popping away. What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Today we've got another fun unboxing from a smaller company called ThirdEye Fishing. Now, I first heard of this company through my buddy Philip Cheek. He sent me a pack of plastics back in June of last year. Still hadn't unboxed them, got them sitting over there. I've got a bunch of other packages from people that I need to get unboxed and on the channel, so I apologize to you all so much. Life kind of got in the way, but Philip, thank you for sending me these. I had never heard of the company before that. He sent me a bag of these worms. That was the first time I'd heard about them, and since then I've seen them on Instagram. If you watch my buddy Hank's channel, Bass Geek, he was actually at the Tennessee Fishing Show at the ThirdEye Fishing booth. So I've heard a lot of good things about the folks. I got to talk to them a little bit. Super nice people over there, so I'm excited to show you what I got in the box. So as I said, from my buddy Philip Cheek, he sent me one of their stickers. It's got a sticker decal deal thing in here, and he sent me a bag of their worms, dojo worms. So he saw these, really liked them. He kept a pack for himself and sent me a pack. This is the 6.5-inch version. You can see there they do show the different rigging options, which I really like. We just talked about that on the Z-Bait Co. unboxing. Funny enough, look at this. It looks like he's kind of teamed up with Z-Bait Co. and uses the old, that bass syrup scent smells good. But 6.5-inch, you get 8 in here, and it's a really cool looking worm. So if you like to throw shaky heads or the Nico rig, that is exactly where my mind went when I saw these. It's got a good thick nose. So if you're putting like a screw-in weight or a push-in weight in the front of there, you've definitely got enough meat to get a weight in there. Good thick body, and then, I mean, can you imagine that thing Nico rig? That's going to look awesome. Or, I know Hank likes to throw the shaky head. Either one, that would work really good. And black and blue does extremely well around here. So I got that 6.5-inch green pumpkin, which looks really good. You know, green pumpkin is honestly one of those colors. Green pumpkin black flake like this is truly one of those colors that I will pick up, like if I'm going somewhere and I don't really know. Green pumpkin, you can get away with it in pretty dirty water. Really muddy, I like something a little bit darker, but you can always dip the tail in some chartreuse. And green pumpkin will work in that, you know, stained to even clear water. So if you've only got one color for a plastic, you're going somewhere different. I think green pumpkin is one of the best options you can go with. I also got that 6.5-inch in the PB&J. Admittedly, it's a color I like. I don't throw it enough. I feel like I don't get enough bites on it, and then I put it down too quickly. But, I mean, it's a very natural earthworm-looking brown, and then that purple up top, it's got purple glitter in it. Awesome job on the color. I really like the peanut butter and jelly. Some of them are kind of like off-colored peanut butter and jelly where I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, to me, that is spot-on peanut butter and jelly. Comment below, let me know, do you throw peanut butter and jelly? Do you have a certain watercolor, you know, a certain lake or type of place you throw it? Let me know, because it's a color I'd like to get more confidence in. You know, I usually just go to like my black and blue or a June bug or, you know, a green pumpkin, and I feel like they work better for me than the OPB&J, but I don't know. Comment below and let me know. Now in the 4.5-inch dojo worm, you get 10 in here. The first color I got was green pumpkin bluegill. You all know I am a huge fan of like a green pumpkin with like a greenish, even like a bluish flake or purple inside of it. I think it's an awesome way to mimic bluegill. The ponds, lakes, when you see those little small bluegill, they're almost that transparent looking color, and they've got these flashes of like greenish, bluish, purple on them. Spot on with this. I really like that. I mean, you could almost do like a little finesse shaky head. You could do like a little finesse wacky worm with this. A number of different things you can do. I like the tail shape on it, kind of that spear pointed shaped tail. Some quality plastics. Like I said, I like that they're just a little bit meatier. So if you want to put any weights in it or do anything, you know, put an O-ring on it, they're not just going to fall apart on you. So I like that. Last but not least, of course, I had to get some June bug, one of my absolute favorite colors. This one's pretty spot on. Not as dark as like the Z-Bait Co that I was saying. It's pretty close though. That's pretty close to being a you know, a normal June bug that I think of. This is almost more of like a grape. I like it though. You know, still a good color. You can see how dark that looks right in here. It's got the green flake. Does it have black flake in it too? No, just the green flake, but looks really good. I have no doubt I will be able to throw this around here and get bit. Okay, so those are the dojo worms. Great for like shaky head, Texas rig, drop shot. I'm really thinking the Nico rig and shaky are going to be my two options, but what do you think? What would you use them for? Okay, next up in the box, they did throw a decal in and a buff with miter. That's pretty nice. But maybe I'll give these away. Comment below. I'm going to do a giveaway of these, a sticker and a buff, because I've got about 8 million buffs. I don't use the stickers, but I've got 2 of those stickers I'm going to give away. Comment below. I will do that and throw in some of my own other goodies as well to somebody out there, because giveaways are fun. I want to share the wealth. Now, skipping from worms, we're going to go to some soft plastic swim baits. Now these are cool. They call these the Samurai Swimmer. You can see that they're made in the USA. He's making all these out of his garage, doing all this work himself. And man, I admire that, because whether you're doing plastic, jigs, crankbaits, it is a lot of work. And the gentleman that owns ThirdEye, this company that we're looking at, the gentleman that owns this does still have a full-time job and doing all this on the side. So you got to have respect for that. But this, again, is your ridged swim bait, similar to a Kitech, Rage Swimmer, that type of thing. But the cool thing is it's got this little spiky like tail thing back here. I can imagine this is going to look amazing on a chatterbait. It's going to give a whole bunch of action back there. If you want that, you know, if the fish are in that active mood. Sometimes you don't want something, you know, with the paddle flip and kick back there. But I think it's kind of a cool joining of like a fluke trailer mixed with a paddle bait trailer. I think it's going to give it a really cool look. Now, this does have a little channel in the top and a channel in the bottom, so you could rig this on like an owner flashy swimmer, swim it as is. You could put like, you know, a little underspin with like a jig head, like some of those Cumberland ones that I use. Put it on there. I can think of a whole bunch of different uses for this, and I think it's going to be one of my favorites. I think that little bit of difference back there is going to add just enough flash, you know, enough something different to get some of those finicky bites. I could be wrong. I don't know, you know, maybe a regular Kitech will work just as well, but I appreciate him for doing something different, trying to, you know, think outside the box, add a little something special on there. So that's a cool one. So that first one that I showed you was Pearl White. This next one is Tennessee Shad. Always one of my favorites, Tennessee Shad, you know, looking like a shad or a bait fish. You know, it's kind of got that brownish, almost green top, pearly bottom with some silver flake all through it. Just a good natural color. It mimics bait fish really well, I think. So whether you have shad in your lake or if you're in Tennessee or not, doesn't matter. I think this is a great color to throw anywhere. So that is one I am sure will get bit around here without problems. Next, we've got a color called Pro Blue Red Pearl. And this one's interesting because there's a Bass Pro Shops. I forget what theirs are called. I used to get the Bass Pro Shop swimmers. Really like those. Nice and durable. They work well. You know, same style like this. And they had like a blue pearl that looked like this, kind of the dark blue on the top. And I remember a day on a local lake here, I absolutely smashed them. I was throwing owner's flashy swimmers and broke like 2 blades off that day. I was getting so many hits. So super fun day on this color, but they call it the Pro Blue Red Pearl because instead of just being like a regular, you know, bright white pearl, it's kind of got this red hue, like a red iridescence through it. So it gives it just kind of a little bit different look. I like that. And of course, it's got that sword, what do they call it? Unique sword paddle tail. If you got any fish that are into fencing, maybe they'll devour this. It was a horrible joke. All right, the last color in the Samurai Swimmers is Fire Craw. Man, this is a color that's absolutely taken off. So many companies, you know, doing the whole red Fire Craw look for spring. You didn't find a bunch of plastics, you know, in this kind of color variation a few years ago, and it really took off. Strike King released more colors. Z-Man, I know, did more colors than this. Kind of, you know, hit that craze for soft plastics and took off. So great color during the spring. You know, throw this on the back of a spinnerbait, chatterbait. You know, there's a number of different things you can do with this. But red in the spring, there's no joke, it does get big. You know, we have a good lipless bite here, but you know, something like this on a chatterbait or spinnerbait, I have no doubt will get some attention. But I like it's kind of that orange belly, deeper red up top, and it's got some black flake, larger and smaller throughout. Looks darn tasty. Okay, next up, going back over to the worms, I've got some worms that they call the sticks. Now, this is their version of a stick bait. Really like this color. Black and blue works really well around here. Look at that one. They call it Black and Blue Flash, and these are 5.25 inches, so just a little bit bigger than your regular, you know, Senko. I feel like they're just a little bit meatier too, kind of in the midsection. Maybe not, I guess not. I found one over here. I don't know what type of, if this is a Yum Dinger or what it is, but you can see these are just a little bit longer, but about the same girth. I thought maybe they were a tad meatier, but color is spot on. That looks like, you know, the bruiser color that I use in the missile baits. Love, love, love that deep blue on that and that black. That'll definitely get some bites. Then I also grabbed this color called Green Ghost Shad. Now I grabbed this specifically. It reminded me of a color Randizzle and I. It was post-spawn. Bite was crazy tough. We couldn't get bit on moving baits for anything. We found a big, huge grass, kind of flat, patchy looking spot. And we were throwing stick baits on the outside of it. And Randizzle was absolutely kicking my butt with the color extremely similar to this top color. Didn't have kind of that pearl on the bottom, but that top color was it. He was kicking my butt. I was throwing, I think, a Texas rig. He might have had it wacky rigged. And then we both destroyed him. I don't remember how many fish we each caught that day, 35 fish each. But it was just throwing stick baits on the edges of that grass and just letting it fall down. Green Ghost Shad, I like that one. And there's 8 in the pack here. And again, he does leave the rigging options there, which I like. Okay, now the last worm I have in here is the Dojo Ned. Now I think these are pretty new. 3.25 inches. You can see you got a number of different uses here. I bet Randall spied that on my buddy Randizzle as a finesse jig trailer. That's something that Randy and I have done before, using little, just kind of stick bait, almost Ned rig things like this on the back of a finesse jig, and it does work. But just throwing this thing on a regular old Ned rig, I like that this is just a little bit longer. I think those homemade Ned rigs that I made through Do It, that weedless EWG type Ned rig, will be perfect with this. Again, kind of that little spiky tail. In black and blue, couldn't ask for better color around here. It is a good one in the dirty water. So I'm excited to throw this on a Ned rig. I like it. Like I said, the smell's good. All around, very good looking plastics. And the other pack of Dojo Neds that I got is the Alabama Craw. Now, this again is a color that I don't throw a ton of. Almost this brownish green pumpkin top to it. Then you flip it around, it's got like orange with, orange flakes. Just a color that I feel like should work more, and I don't throw it enough. I don't know, another one of those, comment below, let me know, do you throw like the orange and brown a lot? I know a lot of places have the craws that look like this. In our area, we don't, and not that I know of, that we have like the real orangey brown craws. Maybe in some spots, kind of that rusty craw color, but it's more of almost a green pumpkin black. But comment below and let me know if orange and brown's one you throw. Okay, last up for the soft plastics, I've got some of their Nico Craws. I was super pumped to get my hands on these. Of course, I'm going to leave their website below. They've got a website up and running where you can check all this out. Be sure to check out their Instagram channel because he has footage of this in the test tank. You can see here it's got a little flange here thing that's going to hold your O-ring. Put your hook in there and it's got a nice meaty spot in the tail to put that weight. When you actually pop this, it's going to make that tail go under, just like a crawfish running away as you pop that. It's going to look just like a crawfish pulsing, popping away. I think these are going to be money. I really like that. You don't see a lot of like special craws designed just for the Nico rig. There's people that use them, but there's not really one set up specifically like this, to hold the O-ring, a little bit meatier here to hold the weight. I think these are going to be money. Now this brownish color is called Scuppernong Fire. So it's like a brownish, kind of amberish with red flake in it. Interesting color. Not a color I would normally throw. But good to mimic those brown craws. And then the other color I picked up, again, the green pumpkin. If I'm unsure, green pumpkin's the way I go. But looks very good, very natural crawfish looking. Want to get some of these in black and blue, even some of that June bug, some darker colors for the dirtier water around here. But I don't know. I think this is going to be absolutely killer on a Nico rig around the rocks where I fish. Now they did also have some Nico weights. I grabbed a pack of each one of these just to show you all. So these are cool because they screw into the bottom. So you can see they've got a screw lock there. You screw it up into the plastic and this is gonna sit flush on those plastics the way he has it set up. Sit flush on those worms, those craws, look really nice. Now they've got 16th or 8th. Those are the two sizes that I use from the bank the most when I'm fishing like a Nico rig or even a Ned rig, something like that. But those are interesting. I like the little screw part. And I grabbed a couple of these. These are called the kickstand jigs. Now it kind of reminds me of the Poison, whatever the Poison jig is. I forget what it's called, from Do It. Similar in design, and I think these are going to be fun. Tie like kind of a little finesse skirt on there. Put that as like a, maybe a like the finesse dojo on there, the smaller one, the 4-inch. I think that'll look kind of cool. What do you think? Do it as like a shaky head / jig. Grab some of those in white and then also just the regular unpainted, just to kind of mess around with it and see. And the final piece that I got was a couple of their rigs. So they've got a couple of these set up in rig boxes or rig packages. So this is the Nico Craw. This happens to be the red bug color. So it gives you everything you need in here. It gives you the Nico weights. It gives you the little O-rings. And it gives you some hooks up here to try that. So I'm going to throw in this for someone. Everything that you saw in the video when I was doing like the close-ups and stuff, everything I was using was their setup here. All this stuff, I did use some of my own hooks, but their little weights, their craws and everything, just so you can see how they look. But I'm going to throw that in for somebody along with the stickers. And then also a cool little drop shot set up here. Now this is bone. This little 4.5 inch is called bone color, which I think will be great if you're trying to mimic shad or baitfish. But they've got the drop shot weights in there. I've also got some smaller drop shot weights I'll throw in for you. There's also the cylindrical type, which I'll throw an extra pack of those in for you. And then some hooks. And I think I have some extra hooks I'll throw in. So I'll try to take care of you, send you some extra terminal stuff because let's face it, fishing from the bank, you lose terminal stuff, especially with the drop shot. That's why I'm just not a huge fan. So do me a favor, comment below. Let me know what you're the most excited to see me fish this year. Is it going to be these, the Samurai Swimmers? I think those are going to be a good trailer. The Nico Craws, they're called that for a reason. I think these babies on a Nico rig are going to kill around some of the rocks here. And last, the old Dojo Ned. I love trying out Ned rigs. You know, Ned rig has been ever so popular, but those EWG Ned rigs fishing from the bank have been an absolute savior for me. So I think those are going to be fun this year. But comment below and let me know what you think is the best here. As I said, I'm going to pick a random comment. I'm going to give away those packs, some stickers, a buff, and maybe I'll even throw a couple extra things in. So I have to shout out my guy, Philip Cheek. Philip, thank you so much for showing me them. I would have not heard of them as soon as I did until you sent me the package. Thanks to Hank, the Bass Geek, for showing us, you know, some up-close looks and talking to the people over at Third Eye. They seem like really good people. And he looked like he had a bunch of fun there. Too much fun. So that's it for me. I need to get to editing. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate everybody out there. And until next time. What do you think of all this filming, Stubby? Is this fun? You've literally just been sitting there staring at me, doing all this B-roll. You approve?